right, and a good Friday evening to you, wherever you may be, joining us here for the East County postgame show. Dave, we've hooked up with the Christian Patriots at a 6:30 game tonight down at Chula Vista, playing on that natural grass, Dave, that you love so much, but it wasn't any problem for the Patriots tonight. They club Chula Vista 30-2, Dave. It was a little bit close early. There was some defense involved. Certainly, Christian got off to a pretty good start. We saw a safety early on in the game, Dave, and then we saw the Patriots really kind of really hold their own and really slow down this Chula Vista team tonight, Dave. You got the highlights, you got the players.
Yeah, I I was I had picked you guys going into it, but there was a lot of people uh, picking Chula Vista for the simple fact that they've been beaten up on the Grossmont Conference a little bit. And with that being said, we kind of changed our thinking as far as Chula Vista is concerned, which I'm sure you guys didn't because you had a weapon that you hadn't exposed to them as of yet. And I'm talking about Caleb Runkle. But I'm going to say, it started off, you got a safety first thing. I mean, that's got to be huge for the defense. And then next we had
and Tab and Zawacki got in there, Dave. Yep, we got Jacob joining us right now. Jacob Baronis joining us from the bus, and the rest of the Christian Patriots. Go ahead, Dave.
And then we had Eads. He just has to catch one and score. I think that's just mandatory. Is that correct, Jacob?
Yeah.
44-yarder. 44-yard. He was rumbling. He was bumbling. He was stumbling.
And, a 9-0, like Ramon said. I mean, it started off a little slower in the first half. But, I mean, with any quarterback, too, any new quarterback, whether it would have been Wilkins, Spencer, when you're starting off and you've been sitting on the bench for a while, you got to get a little of the rust shaken off. And it seems that by the third quarter, he really knocked off the rust and knew exactly what was going on. And I'm sure he's been studying the playbook, Jacob, pretty heavily while he's been on the bench.
Yeah, he's been with us. He knew all the plays. Like, he had no problem with that. Here's him if he wants to talk.
Hello.
Hey, Caleb, great job today. Hey, you guys were in a tough game, and I'm sure that you felt like coming into this one that not only getting acclimated with the team on the field, obviously you've been around these guys and you've seen them perform and operate so far, but just tell me your comfortability getting in there. Dave left off with us. It was only 9-2 at halftime. Did you feel like we mentioned the touchdown with you and Brady hooking up with that pass? He did a lot of the work on that one, but did you feel like you had something to prove in the second half with these guys?
Oh yeah, I was pretty mad. I didn't come out too hot, and a couple of my coaches gave me a little talk and came out stronger than the first half.
Go ahead, Dave. You back with us?
Yeah, just adjusting my camera here. I think this should do the trick. All right.
Go ahead, Dave. We got Caleb now with us.
Excellent. So, Caleb, like I mentioned before we started, you had you started at, let me get it right, you started at Christian, then you went to Granite, and then you came back over to Christian, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And this was due to injury.
Yeah, so before my freshman season, I broke my elbow while at Christian, so I transferred. They had a strong quarterback there, and decided to come back.
Okay. Now, were you pretty familiar with the playbook once you came in there? that's a lot of time to be sitting on the bench. So, were you going over that pretty much on a daily basis? I'm sure even off the field.
Yeah, I was pretty comfortable with the playbook. I had a lot of time to get ready. Yeah, and my coaches, they prepared me very well. Even my teammates, Brady Eads, a lot of time like at home watching film and going over plays together, like on the field, out of practice. A lot of extra work.
Yeah, but Caleb, what goes into you? Some of these runs you pulled off, brother. We want to see you throw the ball a little bit, but come on, you're bouncing off the guy around the 40-yard line there, you didn't even feel it. He knocked you back about 3 or 4 yards. You were still able to pull off that 45-yard touchdown run with eight and change to go. Tell me about that run, man. That was sick.
Yeah, man, that was pretty crazy. The intentions were to throw to big man Brady Eads, and didn't work out. So I took the ball, I ran out, I took a pretty big hit, bounced off of it, ran, and dove in for a touchdown.
I mean, it was like you had some kind of grease on you or something, because, like Ramon said, I mean, you just wouldn't go down and lost your balance for a second, but regained it, and I mean, it was amazing to watch it. Like we saw it in the clip, it was fantastic.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then when you took off, also there on the short jaunt, tell me about it, Caleb. The way you guys worked them down in the second half. Like I said, it was only 9-2 at halftime, and you had the short run there to give you guys 16. The first touchdown there, the second half, and then the pass to Marsh as well. Make sure I got those scores right, actually, brother. You had a 4-yard keeper, if I'm not mistaken. I saw you take off there after a little bit of collapse of the pocket. I don't know if it was a design drop run by you or not, but I saw you take off towards the left side and scored that touchdown. And then later on, the 5-yard pass to Marsh. Go ahead if you could put those together for me.
Our defense got to stop close to the end zone, and we just drove it down, and then the run was a design play. It was like a fake bubble, take it in. That wasn't too special. And then the other one, I think we got to stop again on defense, and just rolled out, threw it to Marsh, and he handled business.
Dave, and then he said it wasn't too special. We were worried about this game, Dave. You and I, quite frankly, going in, but they made it look easy. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, it is funny that because we talked about Chula Vista once, like I said before, about what they've done in the conference and they've improved. And what I was going to ask you about is, and then we have the Chula fumble, and then Hudson McFarland gets the recovery, and you're on the 33-yard line, and they're just lining you up again to just continue to score. And that's when you got the touchdown throw to Mr. Marsh, and was that a 23-yarder? And
I want to tease you a little bit on that one, Caleb. You threw it up there. You had two guys in the vicinity, but it looked like Jake kind of worked himself free a little bit. Maybe you were just checking it close, my friend.
Yeah, I saw him. I knew he'd handle it. I mean, Jake's a great guy, man. Great receiver, very solid.
Right, yeah, he was in traffic for sure. So, yeah, you got it in there. That's what you're supposed to do. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I mean the confidence there, and then you had the 2-point, and you still got a minute and change, and then you had the unbelievable run that we're talking about. It looks like 45 yards. And then that pretty much that put him away and sealed the deal. What do you have to say about your offensive line? I mean, coming in and having that trust already built up. They already know. I'm sure they already are pretty comfortable with you. Did you feel that comfort in that you were going to have success?
Yeah, I mean, my O line is phenomenal. We're all very like close together, and I just want to like give a big shout out to like Jonathan Lama, man. He gave everyone a big speech at halftime. He's like, "You guys, we need to work. We need to move the line." But yeah,
That's great. And I mean, on the whole decision, I know that a lot happened. Um, but how great does that feel that you had to go through the transfers, you go through the injury, and then you come back. It's 2024, end of September, and in a game that really most people thought could go either way, or it would be a close one between the two of you. And
Maybe that was only us, Dave. These guys dominated.
and you held them. I mean, 2 points, 2 points, and hats off to your defense. Holy cow! I mean,
yeah,
Tavin and company, just they didn't want anybody going anywhere.
yeah, man. Our defense is very solid. King Brady's a very good linebacker, man. Yeah.
Um, let's get. As a matter of fact, you got any of your defensive players available
Oh yeah,
close
I got
by?
King Brady right here.
What's up?
What up, my
Two
man?
2 points. You held them to 2 points. I mean, it. You can't ask for more than that. I mean, I guess you can ask for zero, but the way that you pulled it off, you guys, it's like did you secretly read their playbook with telepathy? I don't know, but it sounds like it to me that. I mean, how many yards did you hold them? I mean, they must. It just sounds like they didn't get close.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they had a pretty good quarterback and a couple good receivers. So, I mean, our plan was really just to bring as much pressure as we can. Don't give them any time. And I mean, we probably finished that game with like 10 sacks on the D line. I mean, they were
It seemed
in that
like,
quarterback space every play.
oh man,
Wow.
it seemed like Zawacki was every play. All I saw was a big 77 getting up and throwing his arms in the air. That safety that him and Hank got to him. Who had that pick? We had a pick in there, right, guys?
Yeah, Max Turvey actually had that pick.
Nice. Yeah, it just seemed like we were pressuring them big time for sure. No doubt about it.
I mean, we'll get the statistics tomorrow, but get double-digit sacks. I mean, your offense is probably. I smell some steak dinners coming on. I don't know. Maybe, but then you got to take your hats off too to what the offense did, especially with the quarterback fresh off the bench. And I know he had some practice this week, and I'm sure he took extra reps. But for him to come off like that and a first night out, I mean that's pretty impressive.
How about the touchdown in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, Caleb came out and he really just did his thing out there. We knew he was capable of it. I mean, a lot of people had us losing that game, so we really had a chip on our shoulder going into it. And I mean, we knew we were going to just blow them out if we did what we did like all week.
So with the score close at halftime, though, it really wasn't of concern. You felt like you guys were controlling the game, and it was just going to be a matter of time in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the score at halftime really did not reflect how the game was going. We drove down, I think, inside the 20 twice and we didn't get any points out of it either drive in the first half. At halftime, we really should have been winning by a lot more than what we were. So we weren't worried. Our coach told us at half, like, we're killing them, but the score's just not reflecting it. Keep doing what you're doing. We just got to finish our drives.
I mean, you held him to 2 points. I mean, I'm sure Coach Bug definitely was a happy camper. Same thing with the offense. It really looked pretty methodical, with the exception of the run and the bouncing off of everybody on the scramble, which was a really cool clip.
And to be fair, Dave, their points, we made a mistake, didn't we? We made a mistake on that snap. I don't know who it hit, but we just couldn't operate the snap, and they fell on, and we had to fall on the ball for their 2 points.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the grass field was just a little bit hard on, especially snapping. He just wasn't used to it. He never does that. It was just the grass field.
What'd you think? What'd you think about? I mean, that's old times. We don't. I guess your practice field and everything, right? Is still the old field at Christian High. We practice on still grass, right?
No, we practice on turf. We have a turf field. But I mean, this
Where do we
week,
get this kind of experience? Nowhere.
yeah, I know. But this week we practice on the baseball field a little bit actually,
Oh,
just to get used to the grass.
oh, wow. Okay. How about that, Dave?
Now, with that being said, does it hurt a little more or what going down on the grass as opposed, or is that turf worse?
No, I mean we're all pretty tough. I think honestly, it kind of felt nice. Well, it depends like where you felt. Like some areas had a lot of grass, and some was just like straight dirt. So it just kind of depended.
That was a great idea though. And then Mr. Eads, we haven't heard everything from you.
I want to
Did
hear
I?
about the touchdown. I'm trying to get it out of him. I want
I
to
mean,
hear
yeah, the
about your
touchdown. I
44
mean,
yard.
yeah, the touchdown. It was just a simple
I think
screen.
this is it,
The
right?
blocks. Yeah, that is me behind you.
That's
The
on.
blocks were
That's
just
on that.
perfect.
That's on the touchdown. That's the touchdown, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it is. But I mean, the blocks were just perfect. I caught the ball, looked to my left, guy was blocked. Looked to my right, guy was blocked, and I really was just out of there.
We
You
got
were digging. You could tell you were digging. Like you weren't
Yeah.
looking back.
we got the videos, Dave. I just couldn't quite with the timing get it quite perfect to get it on the screen. I was going to be able to do it for us, but I think we had a picture of it anyway. Of oh, I can't get it up there. I had it, brother. We have it. We'll get it up there on the site somehow. But that was awesome. But again, great job, Dave. You want to get anybody? Anybody? Well, Brady, what about the passing grades there for Caleb? Not only the pass marsh, but that 45-yard run.
I mean, yeah, Caleb definitely played a good game, but in the future, you're definitely going to be expecting a lot more bigger stats from him. We're going to finish this year out strong, win the next 5, and then we're going to make a run in playoffs.
No, it proved us a little bit wrong, Dave, for sure, Dave, because I thought maybe I convinced you, Dave, that Chula Vista was playing a little bit better, and they put them down, Dave.
I thought it would be close, like a 2 or 3 point. I was pulling for you guys, but yeah, you did. You definitely. Maybe we stirred it up for you a little more, just so you guys go out there and take it out on Chula Vista and show the Spartans that what the Patriots are all about.
Yeah, I mean, they projected us to lose that game too, so it was a little bit crazy, but not to
No,
cut this
we was
interview short.
loss in this one.
Yeah, not to cut the interview short, but we did just arrive at school.
Great
No,
job.
no,
We're
no
set.
worries. Just tell Jacob too, and all the guys. We appreciate all of you as always, and we're hoping to hear from you guys next week. Another Patriots win.
Yep, of course. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
It's
Take care. Get some rest up and get ready for Monday.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, Dave. 30 to 2 here tonight for the Patriots. Did you you mentioned the scores there. I don't know if I missed on all the stats because I wanted to get some of the defense in there. And like I said, they were pressuring them all night in there with especially with big number 77 Tavin Zawacki wrecking havoc in the backfield.
10 sacks. Oh my goodness.
Well, I think he might have been quoting it. It wouldn't surprise me how many they end up coming with. There may have been some tackles for losses in there and stuff. I think it was a guesstimate, but it wouldn't be close. Wouldn't be far from the truth here. It feels like tonight.
I want to tell you too before we get the Sultans on the line. You know, I'm keeping my eye on this one. You know, the Monte Vista Monarchs in the first half really they kept it together and they were really competing. Villanueva, he's got to have well over 130 yards, or he probably has more than that.
Oh,
Uh,
for sure.
I
I mean,
mean,
just in the touchdowns alone, I mean, he's got to have that many. Now, I don't know the score currently. Last I saw was 53-26, and we were in the interview here, so I'm not sure that I have it right now. We might not even have it here by the end of the show, but no doubt he had a 62-yard touchdown run that closed the lead to 8-6, and then he had a 33-yard run that closed the lead to 16-13. He later had a 21-yard run that closed a Grossmont lead to 32-20. So, but it was Grossmont on top the entire way, and they are still, I believe, in play here right now. It was homecoming, so they're still going here right now. Grossmont has the ball.
yeah, that's why I will probably get Santana here. I got some more stuff to share later on most of this game. It was. I will say one thing: the Monarchs fought really hard on both sides of the ball, and Grossmont did what they said they were basically going to do. They threw the ball. They were able to throw the ball. There was some nice safety plays though in the red zone, knocking it away a few times on the right side. So don't count this Monte Vista team out just because they lose this one. I still think they have a really good chance in league play. They played their hearts out. But with that being said, since I had already talked to Coach Estes, and let's see here what Caden said here.
Caden Hallman tonight, Dave. A big night for Hallman and the Sultans. They led 44-0 late in the game. That's the last score that I actually saw before we got involved with the Patriots here. Hallman had 4 touchdowns in the first half, and you know what? At halftime, he was named the homecoming king. So it was a pretty big night for Caden Hallman and the Sultans. He had a 1-yard touchdown run that made it 7-0. And then he had a 41-yard touchdown run with 4:28 left in the first quarter to make it 14-0. Later on, he had a 21-yard run with 2 minutes and change to go in the first quarter, and it was 21-0. There was even a safety in there, and then a touchdown pass later on in the first half, Dave, that made it 30-0, an 11-yard touchdown pass for the Sultans before Hallman had a 5-yard TD run, and that made it 37-0. And then they added another 3-yard run with Wyatt Williams there. So may have been, I thought it was 44-0 last I saw. Actually, Claremont did go down and score a touchdown.
Yes,
Dave. It may have been 44 to either 6 or 7. I didn't catch the extra point.
I believe that they did make the extra point to it, and it was a pretty nice kickoff return, really. But I think that was one of those. What does my son call it? The garbage touchdown. After.
Yeah, no, the Chieftains made a very nice play, actually.
But you know, we already knew that Santana was going to go in there and handle business. And it looks like, if I could see the scoreboard in a minute, that it looks like Grossmont finished off the Monarchs. Hats off to the Hillers, but you know, hats off to the Monarchs too for, you know, playing really hard. And not getting to the guys to switch out. They don't have the amount of players to switch out. So I think for them to go over to Grossmont and even score the points that they did, I think that they didn't do the 35 this time, but I think they're
33, pretty strong.
So I wouldn't count them out. Let's see here, Mr. Estes.
Okay. Dave, it was 54-33 tonight. Grossmont defeating Monta Vista. It was Tommy Donovan got it started, Dave. They got it started early on with a touchdown pass. It made it 8-0. Grossmont, they're used to going for 2 here, and then they made it 8-0 after they scored on a run, got the 2-point conversion on a run here. That made it 8-0 before Villanueva came back with that long play of 62 yards. That made it 8-6. Then Tommy threw another touchdown pass. It was Donovan, a 43-yard touchdown pass that extended the Foothillers' lead to 16-6. Villanueva then came back with a 33-yard touchdown run. He was going off there. We mentioned Alex's touchdowns already, but I want to get it in order here. That made it 16-13. There was still 4 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first quarter. So you already had 2 connections with Noah Walker and Villanueva countering with 2 touchdowns. But then Parker Vandenberg got involved with a play that he totally left the Monta Vista quarterback spinning his head over there, a little pump fake, and Tommy ended up throwing it to Vanderberg, who had already sped past his cover man for a 70-yard touchdown, and that gave Grossmont a 24-13 lead.
And he looked surprised that he had the ball and that the defender had not taken a swipe. He really looked surprised that he made it. He was looked down at the ball, and he was like, "Oh, I got it," you know. And something interesting. There was quite a few passes that Derek threw tonight. He even had a 24-yard pass early on to Villanueva. Pretty nice one, too. But they were mostly short passes. I'm sure that was on the side of caution up against that Grossmont defense and Hamamoto knowing what he was facing. And ultimately, I believe Derek got picked off. I know it once for sure, but I think he got picked off twice. Another time in the end zone towards the end of the game. But that's how he's going to learn. I honestly want to see that. I want to see some more Monta Vista aerial assaults, and I think that makes them even better. But that Villanueva kid, I will tell you what, he is something special. Maybe he's not as big as Jamon McClendon, but he is fast, he is strong, he is a downhill runner, and boy, he can carry a load. Did you see some of the pillars that he carried with him? Just fantastic.
Yeah, in fact, the misdirection of the Monarchs kind of left the Foothillers in a little bit of the spin cycle, the way he came shooting out of there and sprinting into the open for those scores. Later on, Grossmont extended their lead on another touchdown pass from Donovan. That made it 32-13, but Villanueva covered back with a 21-yard touchdown run that made it 32-20. Then Grossmont actually allowed another touchdown from Alex. There was a nice pass that got the Monarchs down near the 5-yard line where Alex ran it in. It was 32-26 at that point. You go ahead. Yeah.
That's exactly when I was thinking, okay, look at this. This is going to be the game that I wanted it to be, the game of the week. You know, and playing it on the road. He got in there, and then I think that, I don't want to say that was the whole cause, but then they went for the extra point and fumbled the snap, and then Grossmont ended up falling on it. Nothing came of it, but still, you needed that extra point. And then, boy, Tommy was just throwing the ball left and right. hitting the different receivers like he does. Villanueva got another 40 yards there. And that was it was last time I saw it, yeah, it was 40-26. And that was
threw another touchdown pass to Walker from 27 yards, and Smith
yes.
ran it in to make it 40-26.
What do you think the reasoning was? I was trying to figure that out. Why they went for 2 points on so many opportunities as opposed to kicking it and with the extra point. Is it something with the kicker, or I'm trying to figure that out.
Grossmont has shown a penchant for going for 2 almost every time this season. Only when they have been comfortably ahead of the other team have I really noticed them. I believe maybe they've kicked it at that time, but for the most part, they're going for 2 just every time.
Yeah, I this is the first Hillers I watched quite a bit of it, so I was trying to figure out what Coach Lawrence's method to his madness of maybe the kicker wasn't a sure thing, as opposed to I can send any of my running backs or receivers in there and almost guaranteed to get my 2 point, which really they are. I think they missed 1 or 2, maybe 1.
Well, later on, they were able to get an interception, and then Smith added a 17-yard touchdown run to make it 46-26. Grossmont eventually wins it here, 54-33. Didn't catch those last scores. We'll have to clean that up here over the next day or two, and we get the report in from the game.
Well, I gotta say, Ramon, they gave it the old college try. They went in there, and I'm sure they went in there expecting to win. And that magic 35, they were only 2 points away from getting that magic number that they've been so tied to. You said 3. This could have been their fourth 35 points.
Yeah, they did drop 2 of those games, but they're definitely clicking right now, and they'll be just fine come league play. Like we said, watch out for the Monarchs. If they could keep up with the Foothillers here, I would imagine that they can give these Hills League teams quite a game here now that we're getting ready to head into league play.
Oh, I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see who we're going to talk to here in just a second. Santana too is. Let's just take that youngster part, and they have such a young roster that doesn't matter whatsoever on this particular squad. And I hope I just sent you the statistics from Coach Estes, so we have those. Here we go. I'm going to send this to him.
Okay. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. Tell us what's. I'm ready.
No, I'm going to Coach Estes. He told me just go ahead. I guess Hallman was saying about an hour. Well, it's about 5. It's been about 5. It's 5 minutes since, or 5 minutes, and it's an hour. So I'm going to start with Estes because I'm sure he can talk first, and then Hallman will be. I mean, talk about having a heck of a night. I think that's what it is, boy. Getting crowned the king, and let's see here.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
But getting crowned king and 4 touchdowns, I mean, that, talk about a good day at the office. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Let's see if we can pop him up. They seem to be leaving the field a little slower than I think the Patriots wanted to get out of there.
Okay, well, I'm going to just continue on if it's okay with you. I'll let you handle whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I didn't know if you were okay. Hey, it was Point Loma beating Steel Canyon tonight, 27-16 here. Final, I believe, just coming in for Steel Canyon tonight. They got a touchdown pass to Haish from 12 yards and a run in, and that made it 14-8. Point Loma was up 14-0 early, and then Point Loma was able to get another touchdown with 27 seconds left in the third quarter. The Cougars were able to answer with a late touchdown, but the Pointers are still going to come out on top here in this one tonight. 27-16. So in a game where I thought that, man, I really thought Steel Canyon, I think they had me fooled a little bit, Dave. I thought they would win this one, quite frankly, but it was Point Loma here. In fact, the last Steel Canyon touchdown came with just in the final minute of the game, with Point Loma holding a 27-8 lead. So Steel Canyon goes down to their second loss tonight to a team that ranked a little bit higher than they are here, and they get the win on the road, 27-16. Steel Canyon falls here to 4-2.
And that was a game that we talked about for a while. I really thought that Steel Canyon had as long as they didn't turn the ball over, I thought that they had the offense, they have the running game. Kaha has been, like we talked about, has been underrated all season long. If you don't have Kaha, you got Weaver. So looks to me that they were pretty much shut down by the Pointers defense.
All right. Also tonight, it was Granite Hills with a win here, Dave, over Madison. Impressive tonight, 45-0 over the Warhawks. So the game was delayed by an injury here, but has just finished here within the last several minutes, and it was Granite Hills getting the win, 45-0. Dave, certainly impressive here with the Eagles handed Madison one of their worst defeats by shutout in school history. The Eagles winning this one 45-0 tonight. For the Eagles, so definitely some impressive play from Turner, Max Turner. He had a short run of 2 yards to get the Eagles off to a 6-0 lead just about 3.5 minutes into the game. Then Trevor Smith had a 38-yard interception return for a touchdown as the Eagles extended their lead. Then, Dave, the Eagles had back-to-back touchdowns called back due to penalty. I guess you couldn't have one if you didn't have the other, but they had a touchdown run, and then it was called back, and then they ran it again into the end zone for a touchdown, and they called that one back, but it didn't matter. They were able to get a 35-yard field goal out of the drive. Then Turner added a 13-yard touchdown run to make it 24-0, and a 21-yard touchdown run to make it 31-0. One of 4 touchdowns on the night for Max Turner. Smith had a second interception in the second half. The Eagles also blocked a punt, and Spalding in there had a 10-yard touchdown run, and then a touchdown pass late for the Eagles as well. We'll put the 45 on the board here. 6 touchdowns tonight, shutting out Madison here, Dave. Eagles certainly dominated. Gage Spalding, I mentioned that 10-yard touchdown run, and that made it at the time 38-0. Then Benitez had a touchdown pass that made it 45-0. I think I got the player here. I want to make sure I get it right. But 45-0 the final here in this one. Let me see if I got it. I think it was I want to say it was Emilio Vera. If I got it right, those numbers are a little bit tough for me. That light blue on dark blue, but that's what I jotted down anyway. And we'll check it later on. But Eagles here dominated. Madison. Like I said, one of their worst losses. They lost 52-0 back in the spring season of 2020, and they also lost to El Camino 52-0 in the '95 CIF playoffs. But this certainly is Madison right now. Maybe the Eagles were a little bit. Well, I keep saying they lost that game, but they came back with a win. So I think they're just back where they need to be right now. They're certainly in the top 4 teams in the county here.
Okay, so Hallman's out with his family tonight. I did shoot a text out to Max Turner. Hopefully, we can talk to him and talk to maybe even Spalding, who's really blossomed in the last 2 games. I think they might keep using him a little more often, I would think.
Yeah, for sure, Dave. We're trying to still get the final actually on that. I did get the stats from you. Appreciate it very much. I can see Hallman's touchdowns in there that I've already recited several of them here, but still don't have the final tonight. Last I saw 44-7 in favor of Santana beating on Claremont tonight. Also have another final that came in here just a few moments ago. It was in 8-man action here tonight as Foothills Christian got beat by a real good Flint Ridge Prep team tonight. 47-0. Flint Ridge Prep beat Foothills Christian. Okay, Dave, we got right now joining us, coach of the Sultans, Tim Estes joining us right now. Coach, if you can hear us, we didn't quite catch the final yet, or I didn't anyway. Maybe Dave did, but we got into an interview with the Patriots. We saw it was 44-7. I think last we saw her 44-6. What happened in this, Coach?
And we got him. Yeah, it's 44-8. So yeah,
44.
Yeah, we were able to establish the run game, and it just took over from there. Our offensive line did a great job up front. Caden Holman had 116 yards on 10 carries, 4 touchdowns, and so they did a great job up front. We had, I think, nearly every skill guy on our team touched the football tonight.
Now, Coach, you had already mentioned that you were going to attend the Claremont and Elkhorn Valley Braves game when you had your bye last week. And you probably weren't surprised. It looked like exactly the same that they played the Braves, I'm assuming, with the score.
Yeah, they played quite a bit, but their quarterback that played against the Braves and the quarterback that played against us wasn't their regular quarterback. Yeah, so the guy that's played quarterback for them for the first few games, he was standing there in street clothes with his jersey, so he's obviously injured. And the other guy I think was backup quarterback of the next athlete guy, and so he's probably a receiver for him as well. But he was their quarterback, but they have some guys, and I think when we played again, and I thought they looked a little better than they than when we played them. But I take my hat off. They did a good job with what they have. They don't have a lot of kids. They had to forfeit their JV game against us because they didn't have enough players.
No, so, quite frankly, Coach, it was almost. I'm pretty sure it was 3 and out every play, every series for them in the first half.
Yeah, I think I might be incorrect, but I think they got 1 first down in the first half, maybe. And they had a few fumble snaps, doing stuff. We got a safety on them. We had some short yardage. I think we had the ball inside the 20 once on the. They returned it over. So they've had we had some really good opportunities that we capitalized on. Because we ended up going up 14-0 before they touched the ball. I think offensively, they fumbled. the kickoff or something, and we got it back, or the next play we got it. And so it was 14-0 before they could really do anything.
Now, how about? I mean, here we go with one of your big seniors. Not a shock at all, I'm sure, to you. Hallman with 4 touchdowns, and not only that, but he decided that, well, I'll say his peers decided that he should be crowned king as well. So I did text him earlier. Apparently, he's going out with his family. He would love to talk to us typically, but sounds like he's going to be celebrating probably most of the night tonight.
I would think so. Yeah, it was kind of fun. I got all the team back down because we had a few football players that made the homecoming court, and so before they would announce the winners, we came down and we all the whole team got to watch who won and stuff. So they really fired up about that. So that was nice.
Well, yeah, Coach. No wonder you had to run up a 30-0 lead in the first half, so they didn't have all these quote unquote distractions.
Exactly. Yeah, and and of course the kids go. When we first walking out of the locker room, they go, "Can we watch the fireworks?" And I'm okay, geez, all right. They have their priorities, right?
Yeah, that safety came on a bad punt snap, but who'd single out here? I'm looking at the stats on defense, but what'd you see, Coach?
Oh, there was a lot of people that helped on defense. Like I said,
everybody got to be in there tonight, huh?
Yeah, like I said, we played every player. Most of all of our skill guys on offense all touched the ball in some way, shape, or form, either by pass or us handing the ball. I think everybody got at least one touch. Even the guys that we just pulled up from the JV team last week, that this is their first varsity game. The quarterback threw a couple passes to him. 2 of the guys, one caught a pass, one we ran the ball with. So it worked out real well. We got everybody in.
Now, Coach, how do you keep them at bay? I mean, it seems like even though they are younger players, they don't get overly cocky. They're not, thinking they're just going to go in and roll over anybody. They seem to be pretty mature for being a younger team, and that they play to the best of their ability.
They do. They really come together as a group. I think the group, a lot of kids hang out together. They all wanted to go down, like I said, tonight and cheer who was for the homecoming court and doing all that stuff. It's a really good group. They're fun to coach. They all want to learn. And like I said, we don't have the typical like Division I body standing there. We don't have too many 6'3" guys that weigh 250 pounds that run like a deer. We don't have that guy. But we have a bunch of guys that with a lot of heart that play hard. And that's all we can ask for them, and they do a good job.
Well, Coach, I mean, you're 4-1, and you're heading into league, and I thought, to be honest, I thought Monte Vista played a great game, considering they did lose to the Foothillers, but they were only, under a touchdown behind them. Around the halfway point, and then unfortunately the Foothillers ended up winning 54-33. But
unfortunately, we got a lot of Grossmont fans out there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that. I mean, you look at a team like Monte Vista, same as like Claremont or the Braves that have they don't have as many players. They can't get those fresh players in there. Let me not take anything away from the Hillers and Lawrence's team, but it kind of gave us an idea of exactly what we talked about early on in the season, Coach, is that come league play, it's anybody's ball game.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100% there. I haven't really got to see Monte Vista play much. Saw a little bit of Valhalla play and El Cap, not much of West Hills yet, and El Cajon. And so, yeah, it's the league could be an interesting race here. We'll have to see how this pans out.
And it's usually, it's usually everybody's talking about the hills and how that's going to be the big ones. I mean, we with the pandemic, we had the three. They each got a flag during the pandemic, but now we have in the valley. It's looking like it's anybody's game. Unfortunately for the Braves, I think they're just young, new coach. I mean, you name it. But other than that, every team in the valley got better.
Very much so. Yeah, I didn't know how Monte Vista was going to do, but Ron always does a great job with those kids. Whether he has 12 kids or 50 kids, he does a great job with them, and they're gotten better. West Hills has been doing. I don't know how they did tonight. They've been getting better, and El Cap's been getting better. So,
yep.
But that's what we play for, right?
Exactly.
We play for that competition, and then just the way that your few seniors that lead your youngsters, and I would say even help keep them at bay and not getting overly confident.
Yeah, and they do. Like I said, they all help and work with each other because we have I think we have 3 freshman football players on the varsity. We have quite a few sophomores on varsity, and we have I think we have 12 seniors. So they really come together as a group and as a whole. And like I said, they work with each other. They keep everybody up, and so it's a group.
All right, Dave. And Coach mentioned the defense, and I've got the stats here, so I'm gonna just single out these guys. And we had both Thornton brothers, Aiden Thornton and Colton Thornton, chipping in. They combined tonight here, Dave, for I want to say 5 solo tackles. You also had Rodrigo. Help me on this one, Coach. Rodrigo Iniguez.
Yeah, I have a tough time saying his name too. That's why we call him Rodrigo.
Rodrigo Iniguez, the senior, also a big night, Dave, with 3 solos, including 2 for loss here. Yeah. And Aiden ended up with a pair of sacks in the game tonight. So great job, Coach. Appreciate it, Dave. Appreciate you getting a coach for us. So the Wolfpack had the week. They had their bye this week, Coach.
Okay, all right.
But it would and it's too bad we couldn't have Mr. Hallman on, but we've had him on quite a few times. So let him go celebrate with his family.
Yeah, it's not often your homecoming, King. So yeah, I'd say let him have some fun tonight.
But another great win in your pocket, and now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty and really get ready to play what we prepare for in camp.
Oh, absolutely. Because I even told him tonight after the game, I go, we're back to 0-0, wins and losses, and now the league starts. So this is where it matters. All the other stuff was just preseason stuff. We got it ready to play now.
Yeah, even this Valhalla squad, that's first up, Dave, for the Sultans, and they've developed a little bit of passing game down there right now. It's a little bit different. The Norsemen are definitely part of that improved lot in the Grossmont Valley League. So that's what we've been talking about here, that you have those 2 games against those 2. Maybe there were supposed to be sleepers, Coach, but you're going to be on the road to tackle the Monarchs and the Norsemen, the 2 improved teams of the league for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes. So anybody's
huh?
It's anybody's league. So we just got to take care of business, and we'll see. Hopefully, it'll come down to us.
I have no doubt in that, and it's going to be fun to watch for us too, because there's going to be so many in it, and those are the games we've been waiting for after getting through this, as you say, preseason football. Yeah. So we'll let you get to your home and say hello to your head coach, which is Taylor, as we know.
I will.
And maybe one day we'll be able to get. She just said she's so busy with it, But I'd like to get her on one time with some of these flag football players from all the schools, and do a little more promotion on it when she has a chance.
Yeah, we'll keep talking because she's one of the class officers too, and so she helps with football with mine. I help her with hers and her football. Then she's class office, so they're just did all the homecoming stuff tonight, and she's just been really busy. And she comes home and passes out and gets up the next morning. It's not like she's just gone, I'm just exhausted. So
that's a good thing. That's the way.
Yeah.
If all kids were like that these days, it would be fantastic. But again, great win, Coach. We did expect to win, but one first down, that's some impressive defense.
Yeah.
The players are out celebrating, but we always appreciate you coming on and giving us the rest of the X and O's.
I appreciate it. And thank you guys for doing it. Thank you a lot.
Thanks so much.
Good job for the Sultans here tonight, Dave. In addition, Ethan Miller threw a touchdown pass. That was the one we missed there in the game. Miller with the touchdown pass, and I think it was was it Noah? Oh, Noah caught it right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. It only took me 5 games. I'm starting to memorize these players combined with their numbers. I can get right off the stat sheet.
Just in time for league.
Thank you, not only to you, Coach, but for you guys getting the stats to us in such timely fashion. Really makes for a good show, especially when we win. So thanks a lot. All right.
Thank you.
All right, Dave. Great job, Tim. All right, Dave, we got a few more finals we can cover here as well. Moving out now that we had that Sultan final down at 44-8 there. We guess we got it right. We just didn't know. I left with the extra point. I didn't know if they went for 2, went for 1, or what happened. So, all right, Dave, I got a few more here to wrap up with right now. Well, it was Loyola here, Dave. We mentioned the Loyola Cubs.
Oh, boy.
From L.A., and well, I've hung my hat on the Mount Miguel Matadors. I'm going to have to readjust the power rating just a little bit after they lost here tonight to the Loyola Cubs. The Cubs took a 7-0 lead in the game and eventually led 14-3 before an 80-yard touchdown pass for Mount Miguel got them back into the game at 14-10. Loyola then extended the lead to 21-10. Then A.J. Stowers threw to A.J. Logan for a touchdown pass. That brought it to within 21-17, but the Cubs came right back, took a 28-17 lead, and that's when Paris Vernon let loose on a 79-yard unstoppable run, man. He was really showing off some moves. He didn't quite make it to the end zone, but the Matadors did get a touchdown eventually to close to within 28-23. However, Loyola scored another touchdown to make it 36-23. They went on for the win here. 46-38. There were a couple of scores when we were already on the air here, but tough loss for Mount Miguel. This is going to dim their chances for sure for an open division playoff.
Now we were talking about that ahead of time. How much is that going to probably drop them by losing this particular game to such a strong team from LA?
Yeah, not too much here. Again, it was pretty much me that had them ranked this high. I bought into the sauce a little bit, but really the Loyola was really rumbling a little bit over Mount Miguel with some powerful running here. Really, they were strong, and Mount Miguel was having a little bit of trouble defensively stopping La Jolla on, certainly not routine plays, but they were able to capitalize, it seemed like, on every possession, especially on some shorter fields here, and they were able to go on for the victory in this one, 46-38. So they'll probably just drop just slightly in the. I don't think they'll fall much in the power ratings at all. They're currently like 8th, 9th, somewhere in there in the computer ratings, and I'm sure they'll drop maybe one or two spots maybe here. This was supposed to be a closely rated game, but still Loyola was ranked a little bit ahead of them, and the computers had Loyola winning this one. I just said, hey, I'm going to trust Mount Miguel here, and they definitely showed their ability on offense with these scores tonight that they made and their big play potential, but it just didn't quite work out that way so far in the shootout. Really, it was the top-notch players from Loyola. Their hot quarterback, Ashton Pannell, was looking very good. They also have Sean Morris. These are guys that really they have some real strong recruits. Marcus Keir as well, I saw out there. Ethan Gallardo and Scott Taylor, the Cubs, they have a pretty good team right now, and they were able to do it here against Mount Miguel tonight in that one day, but they end up on the short end here. All right. I got one other final here, I think. As I mentioned, that Foothills Christian Flint Ridge prep game, it was 47-0 Flint Ridge prep over Foothills Christian. I'm hard to believe, really, that they lost 47-0, but apparently that is the case. So I will be checking that one out. I almost thought, man, do they have this one backwards? So I'm not even going to put it up on the screen because I do want to confirm that, but it was sent to me, and we know how important our contacts are. All right, here's one more day. Was Victory Christian defeating Mountain Empire tonight by the score of 39-12. Victory Christian at home tonight, defeating Mountain Empire. So, all right, Dave, I think that's gonna do it here. Want to thank. I told Robert that I'd be able to get those highlights up, and we just had to go on the air a little too quick. We'll be able to put them together, Dave, on the YouTube, and be able to put those highlights of those two spectacular plays up there for sure. But we had to get on early so we could get on with the Patriots. So I told them I'd have time to produce the video to send me those, but we'll just have to put them up there on the YouTube. But thank you and Robert for helping us out tonight with some great highlights there from Christian tonight. Certainly one of our games of the night. All right, Dave, anything else here you want to thank Mr. Davila and sponsors here?
And Granite Mortgage and Lakeside Equipment. I also like to thank him for the updates, especially if I can't see the camera. Sometimes the cameras aren't so either not plugged in or they're just really hard to see in some of those uniforms.
What do you think about watching that game on the natural grass there, Dave? The last natural grass field in the county is soon to be no more, but one for the old folks. I liked how, we would have never thought of such a question, right, Dave? But you had to ask it to the Patriots. What's it like playing on real grass? Nobody knows anymore. That's all we used to do, right? Half the time the field was a big patch of dirt in the middle of the field by mid-season.
Same thing with professionals. You got the dirt in the middle of the field. Pitcher's mound was right there, and the Coliseum's a good example of how bad it got there. Which, I know this isn't prep football talk, but it really was a great speech by Mark Kotze, and just seeing off the fans and a sold out crowd at the Coliseum. It's too bad that they can't make a deal. That city had the problem with the Raiders, and then same thing with the A's, which I didn't know
until they used to play the football games on the baseball field, right? And that was just part of it. They used to do it at the old San Diego Stadium too, right? You'd just have to draw the lines there, and you'd be tackled out by second base.
And I didn't even realize that. I'm sure you did. Just like my dad would have this answer in his back pocket. But they were the Kansas City Athletics prior to I think it was 1968 when they relocated to Oakland. So I'm sure you guys all knew that, but I thought it was an interesting tidbit of information, and I always think, boy, if the Padres left like that, that would be terrible. But I did try to hold on 1 second. Don't close it down yet. We might have Max Turner.
All right.
You can.
Well, just go over the scores then real quick while you try to hook up with Max here tonight. We'll cover all the games again, give Dave a chance to hook up with, see if he can get Max to join us after their victory tonight over Madison in, impressive fashion, 45-0. Granite Hills all over Madison tonight. Wasn't really much of a contest, and boy, talk about a team. Madison's had a pretty decent run here so far, kind of, keeping in the Madison tradition a little bit. But man, the Eagles were just too much tonight for the Warhawks in a 45-0 victory in this one. Some big runs tonight from Max in the game here, and we also saw a touchdown pass from the Eagles as well. But Turner had 4 touchdowns, and Trevor Smith had an interception return for a touchdown of 38 yards. It made it 14-0. And the Eagles tacked on a couple more scores in the second half with Gage Spalding getting a 10-yard touchdown run, and then that touchdown pass as well that made it 45-0 late. So, all right, I'll cover some other finals here while Dave works on trying to get us another guest. And just talked at the start of the show was the Christian Patriots beating the Chula Vista Spartans 30-2 in this one, and the debut of sophomore quarterback Caleb Runkle for the Patriots. They've waited for Caleb to become eligible with the transfer rules, and you heard him say his story, really just wanting a combination of wanting to play, but also coming back from injury a little bit, trying to get healthy to a certain extent. And Runkle makes his debut and looks pretty good. The Patriots look really good, especially defensively, really stopping Chula Vista, who's had a good season here so far. For the Spartans, I mean, they really have come on here this season, but Patriots really put them down here. It was only 2-0 early. The Patriots got a sack early in the game, or I guess, in the first quarter here, as Tavin Zawacki and Hank Houston combined for a safety. It was Zawacki earlier that recorded a sack after Christian High had actually fumbled, and Chula Vista recovered at the 32, but the Patriots shut that one down real good, and then started to put the kibosh on them a little bit, pushing the Spartans backwards. That's when Runkle later in the quarter found Brady Eads for a short pass, and he turned it into a 44-yard touchdown. They gave the Patriots a 9-0 lead. And then the Patriots actually missed a field goal, but Chula Vista got a safety against Christian after the Patriots had an interception of their own. Chula Vista was able to get a safety. Actually, the Patriots were backed up to the 7-yard line, but the snap kind of went awry and the ball bounced away, and then the Patriots just had to fall on it in the end zone, and that made it 9-2. Then the Patriots were able to get a sack to end the first half, and then an incompletion, really no threat from the Spartans as they went into halftime with a 9-2 lead. Later on, the Patriots came out in the second half, and it was that man again, Caleb Runkle, with a 4-yard keeper that extended the lead for Christian. And then Runkle, a pass to Marsh from 5 yards, and that made it 22-2 with 1:29 left in the third quarter. Runkle then a 45-yard touchdown run with 8:30 to go made the game 30-2. And the Patriots went on to win it to pick up their third victory of the season. The Spartans fall to 4-2. I had these teams rated relatively close, but the Patriots going to go down there and win on the road, and I'll probably be moving them up for sure here. Like I said, they sometimes they get upset, but here they did they were favored in the most part by the computers as well as by Dave and I. We picked them to win. All right, got a couple more finals here right now, and a great game tonight was Grossmont Foothillers defeating Monta Vista 54-33 at Grossmont tonight. It was homecoming at Grossmont, and they wasted no time getting on the board early with a touchdown pass by Tommy Donovan. That made it 8-0. The Hillers led just 2.5 minutes into the game after a 2-point conversion run, but they didn't really have an answer early for the Monarchs' Alex Villanueva. Villanueva had a 62-yard touchdown run. The pass failed, and that was just a minute after the first touchdown of the game, and it was 8-6 at that point. And then Tommy threw another touchdown pass. Tommy Donovan, a 43-yard touchdown pass. Not even a minute later after that last touchdown by Villanueva. And it was 16-6. Grossmont then led the game. Villanueva countered back with 4:16 to go in the first quarter to make it 16-13 on a 33-yard touchdown run. Man, this one was back and forth all the way. Dave, you were following this game probably closer than any of them tonight, and you're going to need an extra pencil after this game.
I tell you, they probably took up a good 5 or 6 pages. Just Monta Vista alone. They were the running that they do is just amazing. What that offensive line does of the Monarchs, which makes it all the more impressive for Grossmont to be able to hold them. But obviously they didn't hold them on quite a few touchdowns though. So I just thought it started off to be a great game. And kudos to the Grossmont Hillers. And I'm just ready for league. I know you're ready for league.
Yep, we're ready to head into league play here right now. Remember, the other league, the Hills League has a bit of a deeper schedule than the Valley League here with one extra team. So some teams will still have to try to find another game. But it was Monta Vista holding on here to stay close to Grossmont until the second half. Grossmont started to pull away. 32-26 was as close as it was, Dave. That was after yet another run by Villanueva. That closed it to 32-26. But then Grossmont got another touchdown pass from Donovan to make it 40-26. And then following a Grossmont interception, it was Smith with a touchdown run from 17 yards. That made it 46-26. And then another score for each team late made the final score 54-33.
So what do you do if you're Ron Hamamoto when you take the guys back to the locker room? I mean, it's not a bad defeat. you came in there and you really put through your best work. Just an update, real quick. Max Turner, his phone is running out of juice. However, he did just send one over to Trevor Smith, and also possibly De Leon and Spalding. So we will wait and see.
Okay, well, I don't want to keep these coming. It's already getting pretty late here. It was Loyola defeating Mount Miguel 46-38 tonight. We just mentioned Mount Miguel ran up against a good Cubs team from LA. Loyola led 14-3 early on before Mount Miguel answered with a long touchdown to make it 40 to make it 14-10. Loyola extended the lead to 21-10 before Stowers to Logan connected on a touchdown pass. However, the Cubs came right back to take a 28-17 lead with 2:36 to go before halftime. It was kind of a wild one, and the Mount Miguel Matadors had trouble stopping Loyola here. Paris Vernon made an incredible run of 79 yards to set up a short 5-yard score by the Matadors, which closed the gap at that time to 28-23. However, Loyola extended the lead to 36-23, and then were able to get another 10 points there, and both teams scored 2 more touchdowns late. However, I just don't have that. We were already on the air when they were trading scores late, so I'm not sure how those last scores went down, but Loyola wins it against Mount Miguel. All right, just a short time ago, we had the Santana Sultans on, and they ended up beating Claremont here 44-8 behind Caden Hallman's 4 touchdowns in the first half, and he was named the homecoming king at halftime. He had a 1-yard run early on to make it 7-0. He had a 41-yard run that made it 14-0. He also had a 26-yard run that made it 21-0 in the first quarter, as they were really off to the really stymieing Claremont there. It was a touchdown pass that got the Sultans to a 30-0 lead, with the Sultans taking lead into halftime, and then Hallman had a 5-yard touchdown run that made it 37-0 here. Dave, can't even read my own writing. The Sultans were crushing them, and I kind of started to tune out at that point, trying to watch some other ones. Wyatt Williams had a 3-yard run that made it 44-0, and then like I said, I know Claremont scored. They scored on a big long run. I didn't even know how they went for the extra point. Coach Estes had to tell us they went for 2 and got it, and it was 44-8 tonight. Santana over Claremont. All right. Also tonight, it was Point Loma defeating Steel Canyon 27-16. It was Point Loma in control most of the way here. They had a touchdown pass in the first quarter to make it 7-0. Then they extended the lead to 14-0. Steel Canyon had a touchdown pass to close to within 14-8 as Haish caught the 12-yard score, but Point Loma scored with 27 seconds left in the third quarter to extend their lead, and they went on to the victory tonight, 27-16. Point Loma ranked 23rd in our poll. Steel Canyon, if you want to be technical, they were 26th in my poll coming into the week, so Point Loma gets the win on the road there.
So we will, I think you are correct, Ramon. We will give the
we got Trevor here. We got Trevor. We need Trevor. If we give one guy off these Eagles, it's gonna be Trevor Smith tonight. Hey, Trevor, great job tonight, beating, and great job by you. Pick 6, baby.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hanging out by where you got? In and Out right there. Where you at?
Yeah, I'm at In and Out. It's a normal after game meal.
Hey, Trevor, tell me about it tonight. You always got to have a concern going up against Madison, no matter how strong we are right now. You're always going to respect those guys.
Yes.
Max had that first run to make it 6-0, and that pass, I got to tell you, I'm not saying it was right to you, but you had to see nothing but end zone, and you probably didn't even have the ball in your mitts yet.
Yes, it landed right in my arms, free lane, took it back for a pick six. But yeah, it was right in my hands.
And the second interception, tell me about the second interception. You guys were well ahead by that point.
Yes, we're ahead by quite a lot. And then I just went back, started running, and I just saw the ball in the sky. And I knew I could get to it. So I did one of those basket catches and then caught it and then tried to take it for another pick six. But I got tackled.
I don't have. I'll tell you, Trevor. I don't have it in front of me, but you are making a business out of picks this year. That's just like probably your number one specialty so far this year. And it started the first game out of the gate. So scoring touchdowns, whether it be on offense, but I'm sure you enjoy picking a couple of those off too. Anytime you can get a pick six, that's always a great one. And I also understand, after just talking to Max Turner, that you have Mr. Spalding with you.
Yes, Mr. Spalding, right here.
Yep, right here.
Hi, Gage.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, great job, man. You've really impressed us on the scene here. Hey, can't make Max do all the work right now, and you've gotten your chance to shine in some big moments tonight. Maybe it was a little bit of cleanup duty with your 10-yard touchdown run there, but we've seen you in the end zone already this year several times.
Yep.
Yeah, where we really noticed. I was talking to Ramon about it before this game. The game against Eastlake, where they used you. I think it was the last 4 to 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 10 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards, and then here's another 7. And I mean, you were just stacking up the yards. I don't know what the total was, but is this something that we will be seeing more often? I mean,
for sure,
obviously Max Turner has to have a break.
Yeah, for sure. You guys should in these upcoming games for sure.
We just noticed, and I think he gets all the kudos, but watching those last 2 games, you're definitely getting the ball more often, and I'm sure Coach Cobbs has been impressed. And as long as you don't drop the ball, that's key of how many times you're going to get the ball from Benitez as well. But yeah, I think honestly you've been kind of flying under the radar, if you will. And I think it's I think you guys can become a 2-headed monster back there. I know Pablo, that was a great mix, but Pablo's over there at Helix shining, and you're the replacement, man. It's big shoes to fill, but I'm sure you can do it.
I'm trying. Yeah.
So far, you're turning it up pretty well. Hopefully, you get more carries. I'm sure I'm sure Coach Cobbs has told you that you're going to get the ball a little more often.
Yeah, I hope so.
Both of them in the backfield are scary. Scary for the defense.
And that's the thing. Everybody's okay. We're nothing to take away from Max because he is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But they don't know what to think of you. That's the good thing. They don't know what you're going to do. They know that Max is probably going to bulldoze them and make a couple of cuts, some stiff arms. But I like your style too. You do a lot of downhill running, but you made some pretty good cuts yourself. So you got two different styles too. What were you saying, Trevor? What do you think of this guy?
Oh, he's insane. He's definitely under the radar. His name should be definitely more out there. But both Max and Gage in the backfield, our offense just 10 times better.
Hey, Trevor.
Stats show.
Hey,
Yes.
when you guys lost the game to Perry High, I mean, I think everybody knows that we were better than that team, and that probably maybe that kind of woke you guys up a little bit and said we can't rest on this incredible streak that we're on, how good the Eagles are, and all that. Right now, it felt like that was a wake up call in that loss to the Arizona team.
Yes, it was definitely a wake up call. Then we went back to practice, worked harder and harder, and it proved. It showed. These past 2 weeks, we definitely dominated.
And now we're hanging out and in and out. Are we ready to put this? Look, Madison's always tough, but we know what's next. We got the Cougars next week at home, and those are always incredible.
Oh boy!
Have we turned the page yet? Or are we going to wait till Monday? Right now, aren't we?
Yes.
But we do know, and I'm sure you know the stories. I've seen some of those exact games on the sideline, and those Cougar games, your records are thrown out, and it doesn't matter who's won what game. Those games have been some of the craziest games I've seen, especially in the last 10 years. It's just been, it's great. You don't know what's going to happen. It's a 2-point conversion failed, maybe a block kick, trying to cut it, 2-point conversion, cut it around, and getting and stripping it, or even a long ball to win the game. But those are always, I don't want to say so much a rival game, but they're just full of crazy plays.
Yes, for sure. All league games are more physical because you're on the line trying to win a league title. So it's definitely more physical.
And you guys got your work cut out for you. I mean, you're the champs. Look, that's the bottom line, and you're the champs until you're knocked out. And I think so far, with the exception of that Perry game, which I think to me they looked legit, like they were actually a very good team. So it's not like you guys lost to somebody that was any lower or anything like that. I think they were a very well coached,
Yes,
great team.
Yes, they definitely had a good running back. That's what was hard to stop.
Hey, before we let you go, guys, I'm just going to quiz you here. If you know these answers, let me know. I'm trying to piece it together, and I don't know if these ones will make it to any stories or anything. We blocked a punt in the game. Do you guys know who blocked it?
Yes, Boogie Wells, Braden Wells.
Oh, awesome. Braden Wells with the block. And hey, Gage, were you on the field? We had 2 touchdowns called back on like back-to-back plays.
Oh, yeah.
What went on? I don't care if you're on the field or not on that. What happened on those 2,
Yeah, I had twisted my knee, so I didn't really see much, but I'm pretty sure we had thrown like a 9 route to Brendan Lewis, and that one got called back for holding or something like that. But the second one, I actually was not able to see.
Okay. And also, guys, there was a player injured on the other team. There was a delay, and we had the ambulance out there.
I believe it was after the first kickoff, and I saw him land on the ground, so I knew something was up. And then we saw ambulance, so we were all like felt bad. But yeah, I think he got hurt after the first kickoff.
Okay.
And he was able to move his hands,
yes, he lifted up his left arm, but I don't know if anything else.
That's always a good sign, though.
Okay, so it was some type of I didn't know if it was that or a broken bone or something. But it was more of a neck thing, a neck or a head type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, fellas, we do appreciate you coming on. I was trying to get a hold of De Leon. He and Proctor have just been freaking crazy animals in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was counting the tackles every time, and it's like I'm going to run out of paper marking them down. But look at tonight. I mean, here we go with another shutout. and that defense is fierce. And of course, Coach Cobbs, he's had top-notch defenses year in, year out. Great schemes, and you guys are fortunate to have, and I'm sure you know that
Yes.
that defense up there, especially the big fellas, and it makes it a lot easier on that secondary.
Oh yes, for sure.
All right, brothers. Great job. Thanks
Thank
a lot. And I'll take, give me a double with a mustard grill and extra toast.
I got you.
Off the 6
Animal style, guys. Animal style fries.
Oh, you're so
Awesome.
cliche, Dave.
Thank you for having us.
Great
We
job.
appreciate it.
We're back.
Thank
We'll
you.
get them next. We'll talk them next week against the Steel Canyon Cougars. That one's at Granite Hills Stadium.
It'll be a good one.
Yes.
Take care, fellas.
Thank
Enjoy the win and get ready Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great
Take
job.
care now.
Okay, great job, Dave. That was worth it. That was worth it for sure. And shout out to Braden Wells also for that blocked punt there in the game. All right, Dave. Great job. Great show. And, well, they didn't all go our way tonight, but look at that. Granite Hills. You talk about the Hills League teams. Grossmont gets the win, but Mount Miguel and Steel Canyon on the short end of some scores here. Helix had the bye this week.
Well, except for that game against Arizona, Granite Hills is hitting on all cylinders, both sides of the ball. I mean, they're doing it right, and like I said, hopefully we'll see Mr. Spalding in the backfield and doing some more things.
Yeah, he's got, I don't know what his, like you said, we don't know his stats tonight, but he's got to be now over probably close to 200 yards and
oh yeah,
a couple of touchdowns now, certainly in there. So,
and then Trevor's just
between
he's
him
amazing.
and these Eagles have had guys like that now. Those safeties. You think about Glaze and those guys. We got Parker Vance also right now. He's kind of between him and Smith. I mean, they're really tough secondary.
Oh yeah, it's great, and I want to, if you're listening, if your phone didn't die yet, Max, you did a great job yourself, but I want to just let you know that I appreciate you helping us get these gentlemen on too, and Coach Cobbs also. Coach Cobbs also joined in to try, and he said he was swamped, but he wanted to make sure that we had. He wants to get the guys their credit, so you got to appreciate a team like that wants to get their 2 cents in.
I mean, Dave, if you didn't have Max going for all these touchdowns as well tonight, and then on top of it, getting your guests, so he does it all for you. Great job. Okay. All right, Dave, I think I've covered as much as I can cover here. I'll get hard at work and try to get some more information for our coverage this week at East County Sports and for our shows for next week as well.
Well, sounds good. I think we'll be doing our picks, and I think the league picks are going to be a lot more difficult when it comes to those. But I'm glad to see we got 3 teams, 3 winners in one night. I think that's a first for the post-game show. So they did run over a little bit, but it's worth every couple of minutes, and they appreciated it as well. So it's worth the wait sometimes.
All right, Dave, appreciate you. Appreciate the work tonight. Appreciate all the guests for joining us and everybody watching live as well. And not many people want to comment, but we appreciate you all watching here tonight. All right. For Dave Dickens, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us on the East County Post Game.
Yes.